Alright guys, we've got a 2005 Acura TL. It's got a misfire going on with it, as well as a randomly bouncing tachometer. When it's actually driving down the road, it's showing the tachometer bouncing too, which is really weird. And it's got another, it doesn't misfire when it's idling, but it misfires when you it misfires when it's idling, but not when you're driving down the road. That bouncing tach does not really, it's actually coming through my ECU also, as showing that the RPM is fluctuating when I'm actually holding it with my foot. Then, as I go through the scanner, I'll let it come down to idle. Damn it. All right. Air fuel. Looks like it might be running fat on the air fuel. It's becoming hard to start. This all started a couple weeks ago when I got some fuel from a gas station. I have since pumped the tank out and went through and cleared it all out of it, put some treatment in there. I've ran 2 tanks of fuel through it so far. I had multiple misfires detected on my system by the time I got home with it from that 30-mile trip. I'm also, let me see if I can find it here. It's reading a not good cap or cat. I don't know what that has to do with it. Oh, actually, am I actually getting a crank pulse? No pulse. It says on crank or camshaft positioning B and A. Camshaft is showing no pulse either, which doesn't make any sense. Let me get to timing. The timing fluctuates considerably. Let's see which cylinder is missing here. Well, now it's not actually showing any cylinder misfires, which, here, I'll throw a load on it. I can physically feel it misfiring, but yet it's not detecting it. Come on, give me something here, bud. Okay, we'll get out of that for now. EGR. Oh, there we go. Where was my injector pulse? What am I trying to find here? Okay, my heaters are back on for my cats. You can see the tach still bounces weirdly. Why can I not find the timing? Yeah, right now it's It's got a pretty substantial misfire. It's detecting knock. I can actually hear knock when I'm under load. EGR was pulled off and cleaned. And there's my knock retard. It just went up to 8.5 degrees when I rolled into it a little bit for a second there. Fuel trims. Okay. I don't know how I got into the setting on this one, but I did on accident. But it's still not picking up any misfires. I don't know why. No misfires on cylinder 1, none on 2, none on 3. There's obvious misfire going on right now, but it's still not detecting it. But yet, missed cycles is clearly climbing. But yet it's not telling me which cylinder it's actually hitting on. So, I mean, I guess if you guys happen to have any thoughts on this issue, I'd be glad to hear them. Kind of at a loss at this point. I mean, it's running like complete crap. Sounds like my voice right now, basically. Crap. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm running 78% duty cycle on the motor right now? No. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, if you guys can find out anything on this, if you guys have had to deal with any of this, I'm open to suggestions at this point, because I don't have any idea at this point what's going on. There we go. There's timing. Okay. So I'm not touching the gas right now. And when I was having initial issues with this, it was retarded right back to negative 30 degrees, and it was set in there. And that was off the initial when I had a bunch of misfire codes pull up. But, I mean, right now there's some pretty wild swings in my timing. I pulled the plugs. All the plugs look good except for one looked like it was fouled out. Replaced that. There was a little bit of oil that leaked past my O-ring on the valve cover gasket on that coil. So I blew that out before I pulled the plug, so I noticed it was wet as I pulled it out. So that's all been cleaned and taken care of. Cleaned up a little bit of brake clean just to make sure that there was no traces of oil left on it. I'm not sure if maybe that's part of the problem, is that coil. I also have the little vacuum modulator that controls the engine mount that's on top of the motor. That thing is making a ticking sound. I'm not sure if maybe there's a multitude of issues here that come into play, whether it be a leaking or vacuum leak perhaps due to a bad mount. The car just rolled 200,000 miles on it. Other than that, I mean, I'm at a complete loss at this point. Yeah, if anybody can come up with anything on here, that'd be great. And this still goes into VTEC. Let me try to see if I can get this idle to stabilize now with my foot. Yeah, I mean, that's even weird. There's no way this car right now is fluctuating 300 RPM when my foot is just barely resting on the gas but yet it's correlating with the bouncing of the tach. I'm not sure where the tach signal is picked up at, whether that's picked up off of the crankshaft positioning sensor or if there's something else in there too. I mean, this could be just as simple as a crankshaft positioning sensor throwing everything out of whack. But I figured I'd throw it to people who have actually had to deal with these, or who have dealt with these for a while. I'm fairly new to the Acura Honda scene. And I just like to get this thing squared away, man. I appreciate any input anyone can give me. I'll throw this on Acurazine, and hopefully, actually I'll throw it on YouTube and then send the link to Acurazine, and hopefully we can figure something out with it. Let me get to the misfires again now. We probably have some good counts. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have a pulse on the crankshaft sensors or camshaft sensors, but I've got nothing. Nor on the crank. Okay, back to the cylinder misfire. I got 19 misses on cylinder 1. Cylinder 5's got 3. Cylinder 6 has got 12. And there's way more than that are unaccounted for. That I can assure you. Seems how if I go to the misfire data, gotta find it again. Injectors. Idling. Oh, there's a big stumble right there. Oh, I also had to replace that O2 sensor because whatever happened the first time when it all went south, it wiped out my O2 sensors. So it's got fresh sensors in it that are actually reading. Yeah, I mean, come on, 39 misfires? That's not right. But, I mean, it's clearly doing something still. Alright, thanks, gentlemen. I'm going to wrap this video up and get her on the old internets and see what we can get out of it. There's an actual audio of it. I'm going to take it to the tailpipe here. Oh. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.